Oh, I went there. Oh yeah. Let's go. I am Darius, this is Sugarless Crystals, your sugar-free destination of YouTube. Enjoy me. I'm guilt-free, ladies. Indulge. Snickerdoodle, Keto Cheesecake, no bake. No bake. What? Let's dive into it. Let's go. Oh, okay, all right, let's go. All right, so starting with your cheesecake crust, we're gonna do almond flour. It's very simple. Room temperature butter, cinnamon, maple syrup, make it a little sticky icky, and we're gonna grind that out and place that down into an 8x8, 8x8 pan. It doesn't have to be glass. Conveniently, I had a glass one for photos, but anyway, I didn't even use it. I went and bought the all right, anyway. So let's talk for a second, all right? So now you have the option here to keep it a no bake altogether, but if you don't want to eat raw almond flour, or almond meal, like, it's not an issue because it's just almonds, to be honest. What I did was I put it in the oven for about 10 to 15 minutes until it browned a little bit, because the cheesecake itself is still no bake, like, you know, but I don't know, I just felt like that cooked almond crust would enhance the flavor. And it did, of course. Like I said, it brought a nice brownness, and you know, the oven. Jesus, boy, I am rusty, okay? I am rusty. Feel free to not even bother to bake it at all. You can bake it at 350, but like I said, if you don't bake it, it's almond flour and butter. It's raw, but it's like, I can't say it's cooked. It'll just be more of a cookie crust if you bake it. It'll be flakier if you bake it. And the butter will, if you decide not to bake it, the butter will solidify again. Get this right word. The butter will solidify again in the refrigerator when you put it in there. So it will harden up. 16 ounces cream cheese, 1/4 cup of sour cream, 1/4 cup of powdered sweetener. Powdered sweetener is crucial in any type of cheesecake you make when it comes to keto. Why is that? All right, let me help you. Let me help your sisters and brothers out real fast, okay? All right, so when you're doing cheesecake and you have erythritol, monk fruit, any sort of not artificial sweetener, but any sweetener, okay? It does not bake like sugar. Sugar bakes down rather fast at a very low temperature. The way we cook cheesecakes, and of course with this one, it's not being baked at all. You're gonna want to use powder, because if you use granulated, it's gonna be like super crunchy. Now, if you were to cook it, most cheesecakes, you're not gonna cook your cheesecake at a very high temperature. So therefore, it's not gonna melt down. That's just something to keep in mind when I do a keto cheesecake recipe up here. This is something I learned over time. Just look out for that. 1/2 teaspoon of stevia, 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon, and 1/4 teaspoon of cream of tartar. Now you can probably cut back on the stevia in this one. It depends on how sweet you want it. Now, if you're new to keto, definitely put the stevia in. You're gonna need it, okay? But if you're someone who doesn't like your keto desserts overly sweet, then you're probably gonna want to pull the stevia out of there, because it can be rather sweet in overall. Now, my recipe is designed for, I tend to design my desserts for people that are new to keto so they can get their sweetness in there. But for those of us that have been doing it for a while, you're gonna be more sensitive to the sweetness, so you may not have to do it at all. But just keep that in mind. Now, what I did was I topped this with sucrin, brown sugar, and a cinnamon mixture. Now let's talk about this brown sugar real fast. This brown sugar is like super expensive. Unless you're not going to bake with it, that's the only time I see you possibly using it, to be honest. Now, if you're not baking, it works okay, like it's cool. But if you're baking, don't waste your time, okay? Because sugar caramelizes in the oven, okay? Anytime you melt it down, it'll caramelize. The whole idea of brown sugar is the caramelization. Boy, I'm tearing that word up. So sugar That's the wonderful thing about the caramelization of brown sugar, okay? But you don't get that with this, all right? Because erythritol doesn't caramelize. Okay, all right. So it's a waste of money for the most part. Like I said, so if you don't have that, what you can substitute with is simply some monk fruit or erythritol, a granulated sweetener. Use the same amount and then stick some cinnamon in there. I would definitely highly recommend that you know what I'm saying, you spraying this across the top. It'll come in handy. It'll definitely bring more of that Snickerdoodle flavor out of the no-bake cheesecake. Look how lovely these look. Oh my. I've done it before with put gelatin in my no-bake cheesecake, but I've learned it's not even necessary. Like, oh, and in the beginning, did you see how I was holding it with my hand? I seriously doubt you're gonna be able to do that if you don't bake it. But you know, is it really a big deal if you can't hold it in your hand? Matter of fact, let me get a fork. I'm gonna get a fork. I'm gonna be professional about this thing, okay? I really enjoyed this recipe. Like this was, I'm gonna get a big chunk too. If I can swing my hair. The Snickerdoodle flavor is wonderful. Why I use that maple syrup in the crust was for gooey reasons. Now, why would I lick that fork on camera like that? Alright, it's so good to be back. Oh man, it's so good to be back. The Snickerdoodle flavor is wonderful. That cream of tartar comes in there and it adds like that slight tanginess that cream of tartar brings. And that's what that's kind of what separates like a cinnamon roll cookie from a Snickerdoodle, is the slight tardiness. That's why they add it into the cookie in general, okay? Honestly, I want to say it affects texture a little bit too, but I don't know for certain, so I don't want to say that. And those are room temperature. Those are not, they've been sitting out. They're not fresh out of the refrigerator. Like I said, they're just wonderful, man. You guys need to try this. If you have sweetener, if you have almond flour, you can run to the store right now, get sour cream, get cream cheese, and make it. Oh, you need some cinnamon too, okay? And I said maple syrup, but it's sugar-free. Make sure it's sugar-free. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. And if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. We got big things coming. We got a cookbook coming, and more than likely, I said June, but it's looking like April. I know. I got a photo shoot coming up in September, Jesus. I got a photo shoot coming up in March. So, well, they're taking pictures of me. I take my own food pictures, okay? Bam, all right? All right. So, I am Darius. This is Sugarless, crustless, your sugar-free destination of YouTube. And I'm not a chef. I'm an entertainer. Bye.